Hey, this is Anney.
And Samantha.
And welcome to Stuff Mom Never Told You, a production of iHeartRadio. And welcome to another Dungeons & Dragons episode where we're just going to talk about what's going on in my campaign. We're just going to do a little update. We have one in the past if you want to listen to it. All of the hijinks I've gotten into with my friends and coworkers who you might know, Joe McCormick from Stuff to Blow Your Mind, Lauren Vogelbaum from Savor, who I also co-host with her, Ben Bolin from Stuff They Don't Want You to Know, and Dylan Fagan, who used to produce this show, used to produce Savor, and does a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, he's important now.
He's really important.
All of y'all are important, obviously.
It's
You're
true.
the big wigs of How Stuff Works original. You're OG, aren't you? You kind of are.
Yeah. You know what? Mm-hmm. I am. I'm going to say, yep.
All y'all are pretty OG. So you and I have been talking about some of your hijinks that has happened in Dungeons & Dragons because it's still going.
Yes, it is.
Same campaign. It slowed a bit due to family stuff, like having a baby.
Yep. Not me.
But yeah, not you, no other players. But yeah, I need an update. I need to know what is happening in your world. How is Peaches doing? Because you do have a character. If you've listened previously, you know that I asked for her to insert my dog to be the troublemaker, but like kind-hearted troublemaker. And every time I see one of the players, I'll be like, and they meet Peaches, they're like, yeah, oh, she's bad news, essentially.
Yes, well, it's very, very funny because I think they all love Peaches, but every time Peaches shows up, there is an audible groan from the audience. And Peaches has a cousin, and every town they call the McCousins, yeah, because Peaches McFuzzin is the full name.
Which is the name of my dog, yes.
So, very, very quick recap. Like, essentially, the world I designed is very video game-esque. So it's a Star Wars pun. Ultimately, the whole thing is just Star Wars puns. But it's very video game-esque. And then in that you travel from like your city town, and then they have to go on this journey to go to every town. And I think last time we talked, they had just been to the Tatooine. They were either just arriving to the Tatooine town or had just been there. Which is only 3 of 8 places they need to go. Which they always text me these jokes that I try not to be too snarky when they text me, but a lot of people will post. Like our friend Katiosaurus recently tweeted something about this where she was saying like this Dungeons & Dragons movie that's coming out has too many hijinks. I want a whole movie that's just 2 hours of me trying to open a chest that with spells that I could have just opened with my hand. That's how it goes, everybody.
Every time.
It's true. And I love that. I honestly love that creativity and collaboration of it where I'm like, they're going to blow through this town in 1 session. And then 7 sessions later, I'm like, surely this is the session where they're done with this town. But they want to know everybody, and they want to do karaoke, and they want to get drinks, and they want to do their own thing.
They want a puppet show, which I think we talked about previously.
Yeah, they want a puppet show. Yes. But one of the things I found interesting about the puppet show after that happened, I believe I spoke about my previous campaign, every character, including mine, had daddy issues. Everyone. This is the first time I've got some mommy issues in the mix. Yes. So one of the characters who is an orc had some issues with her mother figure. And they worked it out. And it was nice. It was one of those things where I like playing in a campaign like this, where it's very positive. Even in the sad elements of it, overall, we don't want the like really negative outcome, which I could have done. I could have just been like, I'll never forgive you, whatever. But they came to that point of forgiveness, and it was very, very nice. Also, I based that character off the armorer from The Mandalorian, who did not forgive the Mandalorian.
No.
So
he was not having it.
No. So it was a better outcome, in my opinion. But it was very, very emotional. And I know for some people listening to this, I know it sounds ridiculous, but it can be kind of like a really cathartic thing where you're just kind of riffing off of each other and having this moment, and you don't know where it's going to go. The other character could have rejected the mom. But we came to an agreement.
So you played the mom in this scenario.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Because I don't understand D&D. I still want to come and watch and just be commentator of not knowing what the hell is happening. But okay. So you fill in those characters.
Yes. And it is a lot of pressure because basically it requires improv and acting. On everybody's part, but for me, it's like they want to talk to this random guy that I'd like mentioned in passing, and now he's their most favorite character, and I have to come up with his whole backstory. And then I have to remember his whole backstory the next time is the key. So one of the things I did want to talk about, which we mentioned it the first time you kind of asked me a lot about D&D, is we talked about some of the dark things in D&D and what can happen. So far, it's been kind of like Star Wars level of violence and darkness. But they're now in a world I based off The Last of Us. So it was darker. And most of them haven't played before, or it's been a very long time since they played. And I put in this disclaimer before we started where I was like, hey, I just want you to know, everything's going to be okay. And then that freaked them out. And they're like, I'm just saying, like, I'm never going to do anything like really violent or gross or like, and then that freaked them out. And then I was like, I'm just saying, sometimes when you play D&D, some DMs will do like sexual assault stuff. I'm never going to do that. And then they were all like, what? And then I had to explain that. And so I feel like I made it worse. Like they weren't even anticipating this, I guess.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to make it clear because I know that feeling as a player when you're like, oh, where is this going? And you don't know, like they know me, so I would hope they trust I would not do that. But it's just one of those things where I wanted to say it because I've seen it happen. I've felt it before, that uncertainty that maybe it didn't ever happen, but I just felt that uncertainty. And it is a darker world, but it was just a strange moment where I was kind of embarrassed by it, but I felt like I needed to do it. I guess I should have worked on my method better. I don't know.
Well, I know there was an Am I the Asshole, which we've talked about, that Reddit, where the scenario was this girl was on this campaign and she was new to it and doing these things and they got annoyed with her and apparently she rejected a dude in real life. So in the campaign, he assaults her and kills her. And they allowed for that. And it went into a whole spiel about, well, we chastised him, but no, we didn't kick him out. And yeah, she's dead. She's done. Like it was all these things. And everybody was like, no, you're the ass. You are the DM who should have stopped all of that. He should have been kicked out. Like it was weird. Like it was definitely one of those upsetting things. And mostly women came through and was like, I've had issues like this. And this is why we don't want to play with men, because you allow these things to happen. And this is an assault, a form of assault, and makes us feel violated, even though you say it's a game, quote unquote.
Right, exactly. That's the thing like we were talking about with VR, where you have to, as the character in the scenario, like engage, whether you want to or not. And like you can try to run away. And then to get killed off for that is ridiculous. Like, there's just a line between, for me, what is a game and what you enter in to contract with people for fun.
Right.
That shouldn't be involved. Like, that shouldn't be on the table unless you're playing a very specific game. And even then I have questions. But in general, like, that is not something that should be like a punishment or a thing that happens.
Right.
Like that's gross. And that's not fun. Like that's not fun to worry about that in the game. But it's true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like in this, like you explaining it, you kind of know that it exists. And so therefore you're trying to make people comfortable, but it went a little awry.
It did go a little awry. And I kind of brought it up. I think I mentioned this the last time, but one of the players, Lauren, said to me, like, you're going to have to tell them not all DMs are nice as you. Because I am a very nice DM. And she was like, I don't want them. It was kind of funny because she was like, I don't want them to enter a situation where they're expecting you and they get an ass, essentially.
Right.
So I was kind of like trying to do the like, here, my little chickadees, just know.
It's okay. Oh no.
Right. It was the looks of shock on their face. Oof. Yeah, this happens. And it's terrible. And it has it has scared so many people away. And I told the story in the last episode, I think, but I had a woman in the group walk away once because and it wasn't even egregious, but it was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm not excusing that at all, but I'm just saying it wasn't like, whoa. But she walked away because she felt uncomfortable. And then it's like the whole game is derailed. And it happens a lot because I think a lot of dudes I've played with that aren't my friends, and this is just my anecdotal experience, but they equate things like D&D with sort of the Game of Thrones. This is kind of acceptable, what this world, this medieval world would be like behavior. It's sort of a tactic you can use, which is not cool. Which is not cool. I was happy to see, and I've been happy to see in this campaign, because I wasn't very good at this, and in my previous campaign, I would say a lot of us weren't good at it. There was a lot of opening up, a lot of like honest with their characters. Like, I don't think my character ever admitted what her whole deal was, but there's been a lot of like really honest coming together and friendships, and that requires both, you know, your character work sounds so serious, but your character work, but also as a player, there's that kind of background. How do I move this game along? If I want to see this storyline go, if I want this to happen and my character to get this. And it can take a lot of courage because a lot of those storylines are sad and it's like, oh, I got to confront my mom or whatever. So I'm very pleased to see that. I'm honestly very happy with all of their stories and how they've been dealing with them. I hope none of them are listening to it. I don't think they are, but they are about to go to the mythical Poop Island, which I'm very happy about.
Fantastic.
Yes. I mean, I guess I can't control what they do, but I'm pretty sure they're going to want to go to Poop Island. And a lot of the story, that's where like the plot's going to come together and the final leg of the campaign's going to start, I think. Of course, they might do literally anything else, so who knows? But if they did the path, then that's what would happen. But let's just say Last Jedi vibes are going on at Poop Island. And a lot of multiverse stuff.
A lot of is going down.
Yes. Thank you, Samantha. I'm going to work that in. Somehow. But it's been really fun because it was a huge endeavor. Samantha's seen me. I draw the maps. I like write out all the characters. I honestly put in like more work than probably is necessary, but I like it. I like seeing the result of it and hearing people are enjoying it and watching what they do with it.
Yeah. And I will say the players that you have really appreciate. Like they don't take it for granted. So that's nice to see too.
Yes, it really, really is. They're always so kind about it. And I talked about this too. I'm very insecure about it because the rules are so dense and we don't play it often enough for me to really memorize them. And neither do I. So they're always looking to me. Lauren's a good help. But you're always looking to me. So I have a lot of insecurity about it. So I really, really appreciate that they tell me that, oh, I'm enjoying this. Thank you for doing this. I recognize that this is work. I really do appreciate it. So anybody who's listening, if you got a good DM, let them know. Yes. It is a lot of work. And before we wrap up here, I have a very amazing gift to shout out.
I'm very jealous.
Oh, it's so good. It's just so
pretty.
Good.
Like I have no idea what this represents. None of these things. I'm like, I don't know why you need this many, but they're just pretty.
Oh, everybody's got to have, I'm telling you, I think every player in the campaign has a whole bag of dice.
Yeah.
You only need like 10, I think.
That's
but
a lot.
You've got like 50 dice.
That's just 10.
But most people have like 50, Samantha.
Really?
Yes.
Damn. They're
all the same. Like you choose your green one if you think it's lucky, and then that one screws you over, so you choose your purple one. So a listener named Aaron sent me custom D&D dice, also Lauren. And Aaron does custom work. And you can find Aaron at Slide Into My DMs RPG, or at a website, slideintomydmsrpg.com. or on Patreon at patreon.com/slideintomydmsrpg. Erin does amazing work.
It's gorgeous. You sent me pictures and I was like, those are so pretty.
So they're kind of like a sheen, shimmery purplish, and they have little mini pastries inside.
So cute.
In honor of Savor. And I cannot wait to use them.
Yeah.
They are so beautiful. They're so well done. If you're looking for a gift for the D&D player in your life or for yourself, because as I said, I think I'm a big believer in getting yourself a gift during this time.
Yes.
This is perfect. I love it. The box is awesome. The design is awesome. I can't wait. And me and Lauren were joking, like, what's going to happen if we get the critical one with one of these? But I bet these are all natural 20s is what we're going to roll. The good stuff. The good stuff, Samantha.
See, I don't know what any of that meant, and I'm just going to nod and say, yeah, absolutely. Only the good stuff.
Only the good stuff. And even so, I'm going to keep using them. So I'm very, very thankful and very, very happy.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm excited to start the campaign again. I bet we'll have at least one more of these because, as I said, they're closing in on the final third if they continue. I'm very dubious, but in theory, they're closing in.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. As we said, we did have one player had a baby recently. A terrible, terrible person. No. That's busy time. So we'll see when we start again. But I'm sure we'll have an update. And, I love hearing from you. Some of you have written in about your campaigns or your tips. Have asked me questions. I love all of that stuff. If you know any more resources or custom dye, although I think I'm pretty set, let me know. You can email us at stephaniemomstuff@iheartmedia.com. You can find us on Twitter at momstuffpodcast or on Instagram at Steph One Never Told You. Thanks as always to our super producer, Christina.
She is also all the good vibes.
She is all the good vibes. And thanks to you for listening. Steph One Never Told You is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, you can check out the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.